Hi guys, welcome back. So I'm super excited to film today's video. Not gonna lie, it's the third time I have attempted to film this. The first two times I filmed, well, the first time I filmed it, the lighting was really weird and everything was blurry. The second time I filmed it, I did like a full first impressions of it, what I'm talking about today, and I was like cut off here and it was blurry and the quality was really bad. So I'm actually just going to talk about the products that I've got today. I have it all on my face already apart from one thing, so I can kind of actually give you a little bit more insight into how I feel about the products. They've been sat on my face for a good hour now, so I can kind of give you a little bit more info, and then yeah, I haven't even told you what I'm talking about yet, so let's start with that, shall we? I had a delivery today that I got very excited about. Glossier, I have completely bought into the hype. Well, I wouldn't say I bought into the hype, but I really want to... That's wind. But no, I wouldn't say I bought into the hype. I'm just intrigued and I feel like I just want to know what it's about, see what all the hype is around, see what everything is about. It is so overly hyped. People love this brand. So yeah, I just wanted to give it a go. So I ordered 6 pieces in total. One of them is the phase 1 set, which comes with 3 products in there, and the other one is just 3 separate makeup items. And I wanted to just do one from each thing, if that makes sense. So I've got one of the cloud paints in here. They do like 4 different shades and it's such a hyped product, but I thought I don't want to get a couple of shades if I don't like the formula. And same with the lipstick and the balm, I've got those as well. So I wanted to try one first and see how I felt, and if I liked them then I would get more colours. And when I was kind of choosing what to buy, I really just wanted to focus on what I would use, not was something really overly hyped as much as I could. So something like the Boy Brow, which I think is like their #1 bestseller. I don't actually do anything with my brows, so I was like, there is literally no point in me buying that. People rave about it, people love it, but I wouldn't use it. See, I didn't see the point in me buying something that I wouldn't use. So I tried to just buy things I would actually use if I was going into Boots or Superdrug, and things I would pick up there anyway, not just because the products themselves have been so overhyped. So yeah, so I'm just gonna get on with this, and then in about 4 weeks time I'm gonna film an update for you, so proper verdicts, like once I've had time to really use the product properly and everything like that. So without further ado, I'm just gonna get into it and talk about the products. So I said the first thing I picked up was the phase 1 set. They've got a phase 1 set and a phase 2 set. The reason I picked up the phase 1 set is it had a couple of products in there that I really wanted to try, and you saved like £8 overall. I think it was £35 for the set itself. And in here you get the Milky Jelly Cleanser. Now this, I haven't used this yet because it's kind of hard to do first impressions on a cleanser when you're putting stuff on your face. I haven't used it yet. It smells a little bit like rose in a way. It smells quite nice, it smells quite floral. It definitely has a scent to it. It smells very like classic beauty product scent, if that makes sense. Like when you used to walk into like your grandparents' bathrooms and things like that, like it would smell of that, like a proper makeup powder scent, if that makes sense. So I'm looking forward to using this. One of the reasons I wanted to try it is because as much as I do like the cleansers that I have, I just find that they're not the best, or like they're maybe not potentially suitable for morning cleansers. And especially at this time of the year when my skin's getting a little bit drier, a little bit more sensitive, I just wanted something that's a little bit more conditioning, a little bit more hydrating, and it is a conditioning face wash. So I'm going to test it for the mornings and see what it's like. I'm also going to test it in the evening, see what it's like for makeup removal. I've read in a few reviews and seen on a few videos that it's not the best at makeup removal, but we will see what it's like as like a morning wash. And I said I'll test it for makeup removal, see what it's like, and obviously get back to you guys. But yeah, I am excited to try it. Then something else that wasn't something that was on my list to try, but it was in the phase 1 set, and actually I'm kind of glad I've got it and was quite intrigued by it anyway, and it is their priming moisturizer. So the primers I usually go for are very mattifying primers, and they're very like gel-like consistency, so I was a little bit dubious about how I would feel about this, but this is very much like a proper, it feels like a thin moisturizer. It doesn't necessarily feel like a primer when it goes on the face. It felt a little bit tight when it had all kind of settled in and dried, which felt a little bit strange, but nothing like overly uncomfortable. It was just a slightly different sensation to what I usually had. It generally kind of perfected the skin. It has a little bit of tack to it, but that's fine. If you think about it, you want your makeup to stick to your primer and you want that to all stick to the face, so a tack is good. So I mean, that was nice. My makeup went on it very smoothly. What I will say is that the foundation I use today is very much a mattifying full coverage foundation, and usually when I use those with a primer over the top, it clings to like dry patches and things. This has stopped that happening completely, which I really like. So it's smoothed over any dry patches so that that full coverage matte foundation just glides over and doesn't pick up on any of those spots. So I think that is a really good tick for this particular product. Like I said, I'll keep using it and I'll see how I get on with it. I'll see how like long everything stays on, but from application, like makeup went over it really smoothly, really nicely. It's holding it in place. It has just smoothed the skin and everything is still staying in place, nothing's budged or moved in around, so far we like it. And then the other thing that was in the phase 1 set, which I really wanted to try. Now, I'm not a lip balm kind of a person, and if I do have a lip balm, I prefer a tinted one, mainly because I like to have some colour on my lips. So if I'm going to use a balm, then I want it to have a little bit of colour. But I thought I would try it and see, because I do need lip balms a lot more at this time of the year, especially when it's going to get colder. Like, my lips need a lot more nourishment. So I picked up one of the Balm Dotcoms and I chose the Rose one. In the phase 1 set, you can choose out of any of the ones that they have. I chose the Rose one because it had a bit of a pink tint to it. And I thought it would be nice to give it a go. I was a little bit worried about the smell because I'm not a huge fan of the rose smell, but it's very subtle. You kind of get a little hint of it, but not too much, which is great. In terms of the tint, it's nothing like over the top. It's very subtle. You probably won't even be able to see this. It's like pink when it comes out, but it's not really that pink on the lips. It is just a very subtle hint of colour, which is quite nice. I actually really like this, a lot more than I thought I was going to. Usually I find these types of balms a little bit too thick and goopy and uncomfortable. It was actually really comfortable. It went on very nicely, it glided on, it felt very nice, it didn't feel thick, and it just felt very hydrating, and I really liked that actually. So I'm going to keep using it, obviously, see how I get on with it, and if I do like it, then I will probably pick up more of these, because chances are I will lose this somewhere, or it'll go in a handbag and I might need one in a few different handbags and drawers and things. So we will see, but so far I like it. Let's move on to bag number 2, which is a lot of different, or 3 different makeup pieces. So the first one is Cloud Paint. Now, I am not really a cream blush kind of a person. I really liked Bourjois did one a couple of years ago where for summer, which they were in like little pumps, and I really liked those. I got on with them really well. But generally I'm not a massive fan. The Topshop cream ones are quite nice, but generally I don't reach for them. But I really wanted to give this a go and see what it was like, because it is one of their most hyped products, and I have liked cream blushes before. I picked it up in the colour Puff because I thought this would be quite a nice like natural pink colour to go with. When it comes out of the tube, no word of a lie, it's basically like Barbie baby pink. Oh, that was a lot of product. Whoops, wasted a load of product there. So yeah, it's very pigmented in that respect. Oh god. Yeah, I've got a pink hand. So yeah, so I was a little bit concerned when it came out that kind of bright pink. However, you can put a little bit on and build it up, and that's definitely how I'd recommend using this. I obviously put it on before powder and I blended it in from the apples moving up. It was a very nice pink colour. It gave a beautiful kind of natural look. It was very subtle, so I kind of put it all on and then I put powder on, and then I was a little bit like, where's my blush? Can't see my blush. So I did put it back on top of powder, which I know is a big no-no generally, but I actually found that you could see the colour a lot more when you did do that. So that's maybe something to keep in mind. I'm going to play with this to find the best way to apply it so that you can get some actual colour from it, because initially I was a little bit like, I'm not really seeing much. I may have been too light-handed initially because the colour kind of freaked me out a little bit, but we will see. In terms of how it feels, it doesn't feel tight, it doesn't feel oily, like it's set really nicely on the skin. It doesn't feel creamy, it's not moving, it hasn't budged any other product around, it's set very nicely. So the formula I like. I'm just going to play around with it a little bit more to see the best way to get the most colour from it. And then I also picked up Wilder, and the main reason I picked this up was because I'm a massive fangirl of Rachel Loves, and she's been going on about this for quite a while before it was even released. Now this is it says it's a finishing powder, and I've got it in the colour light medium. It is a loose powder, and usually I do go for pressed powders. However, I really like this actually. I was quite surprised. It's a little bit weird. It's got like this mesh thing here, and when I first used it I kind of pushed that and all of this powder like came flying out, so don't do that. I tried it half of my face with a puff and half of it with a brush, and I do prefer using it with a brush. I just find it gave much more of a flawless finished look to it than with the actual puff itself. With this I really liked how it set my makeup. It just made everything look very flawless and finished. It didn't set, like stick anywhere, it didn't look cakey. And even when I kind of put the cream blush over the top of this, when I was then trying to add more colour, it didn't cake up or anything like that. So I do like this. I just really like the finish of it. It's got a very, very nice finish. It's not mattifying, but it's also not glowy. It just kind of gives a really flawless look to the skin. So I really liked that initially. I'm looking forward to using it more. And then the last one, the last little thing in the pink bag is one of the Generation G lipsticks. Now, you know me, I love a lip product, so I was super, super excited, and there was no way I was going onto the Glossier website, they had a lipstick, and me not order one. So I did, and I ordered it in the shade Jam. I was initially a bit shocked when I saw the bullet of this, because it basically looks like this really, really dark purple, and I was like, that is not what I thought I had ordered, and I was a little bit scared. When you swatch it, it looks quite purpley as well, but it's just a lovely plum autumnal colour. I really like the colour. I do have it on right now. In terms of application and formula, it's a little bit hard when you first start using it. However, it does warm up, and that does make it easier to then apply to the lips. To begin with, it is a little bit patchy. I don't know if it's just because it's a darker colour, so I notice it more. But you do have to work quite hard to get an even coverage across both lips. And I found that once I applied it, if I then rubbed my lips together, as you kind of do, then it moved a lot of the product around, so you have to wait for it to dry down. Also, it says it's a sheer matte formula. Sheer, yes, I wouldn't necessarily say matte. It feels matte on the lips, like it doesn't feel glossy or sheeny or anything like that. However, you do get like a sheeny colour to it, so I wouldn't say it's a very matte formula or matte finish in terms of look, but it does feel matte. Now it's kind of settled down a little bit on my lips. I do really, really like the colour. It doesn't look so patchy, but I don't know if that's because I've had to work to get it to be there. But I do like the colour. It's very, very comfortable to wear. It's not budging around. Like, I've had this on for an hour, and for something that's quite a sheer product, I wouldn't have expected it to last as long. So yeah, we'll keep testing it out. I really loved the look of the shade Crush as well with this. If I like this formula, then I might pick up Crush as well, because that was very pretty. But yeah, I'm on the fence with it. I really want to love it, and I do love the colour, and I love how it looks now. But I think just the initial application and patchiness has put me off, or put me on edge a little bit. So we'll just see how I go on with it. And that is everything. So that is kind of like my Glossier haul. I'm going to keep trying things out, and in 4 weeks I'll check back with you guys and let you know how I feel. I'm going to leave it a little bit longer than normal, 2 weeks, because there's a couple of skincare bits in here. But also, last time I did a haul update and it was 2 weeks, I found that actually my opinions have changed since that 2-week update. So I just wanted to give myself a little bit more time to make sure that I was confident in my verdict on the products. And you never know, by then I may have ordered some more bits and pieces if I really loved stuff. I am kind of 80% sure I will end up buying more of the balms. So that'll be fun. And I'm maybe like, I might buy another lip colour just to see what the application is like and patchiness and stuff like that. But obviously I will let you guys all know in that next video. Yeah, I hope you liked this. If you love Glossier and you think I should try any of their other products, then please let me know down below. So far, I think I really, really like everything from first impressions. I'm quite impressed. Usually stuff that's really, really hyped up, I'm a little bit like, and then I then have really high expectations that are then dashed. But I do like these a lot, so we will see how it goes. But yeah, if you like haul videos, as I said, please give it a thumbs up. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you all again very soon. Goodbye.